The Alliance for Equality of Blind Canadians is pleased to bring you training on a variety of assistive technologies. Please like and subscribe. Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Tech Tuesday training session. Our presenter today is from WayAround, and we'll be discussing the WayAround tags and how they work, what they are, different ways you can label and identify objects. So without further ado, Neva Fairchild from WayAround, welcome to AEBC.
Thank you very much. I'm so pleased to be here today. As Ryan said, my name is Neva. That's N with a November, E Edward, V Victory, A Alpha, which is kind of an odd name and nobody gets it right, so don't worry about it if you don't remember it. I've worked in the field of vision rehabilitation for 35 years now. I retired from full-time work in 2023, and WayAround is one of my part-time jobs, along with about a half a dozen volunteer jobs. So I haven't retired at all. I've just given up my income. I have lived with vision loss all my life. I had very low vision as a kid, pretty bad vision throughout my 20s and 30s, and then I found out I had retinitis pigmentosa, the cone rod degeneration type. And so now I have no vision. So I have lived the low vision life. I am living the totally blind life. And when I learned about WayAround, when I worked for the American Foundation for the Blind, I was sold the moment I heard about it. And it took it another 3 years to come onto the market. WayAround is a tag and scan system that works with your smartphone, your iPhone, your Android phone, or your Blind Shell 2 or 3 phone. If you have the free app downloaded, you can scan tags that you have created to identify anything in your house. And I don't say that lightly. In fact, when we get to question and answers, I want you to play a game with me called Stump the Chump. I'm the chump. You're the stumpers. I want you to give me something that you want to tag so you can identify it or remember how to use it or keep track of its serial number or any of those kinds of things that a label would help you to do. And let's see which one of WayAround's 7 different types of tags will work for that and how. At the end, I'll tell you a story about a very unusual call that we got about how am I going to tag you fill in the blank. Let's start with the simplest kinds of tags and how the NFC reader that is built into your phone works with our tags. WayAround has 7 different styles of tags. The simplest are the stickers. There are 2 types of stickers, a round sticker that goes on anything but metal, and a square sticker that goes on anything and metal. So the round sticker is about the size of the quarter, but it's only as thick as a piece of cardstock. You can feel it when you put it flat on let's say, a box or a file folder or a canister in your pantry. You can feel it, and you need to be able to feel it so that you can touch your phone right to it, because near field communication means you have to be close in order to read the tag. And to tell you the truth, that's how we want it, because if all of the canned goods in my pantry had WayAround tags on them, and I approached with my phone and my WayAround app open, and it could read from a distance, it would start shouting at me, tomato soup, chicken noodle soup, peaches, pears, kidney beans, pinto beans, and I would have no idea which item it was talking about. But because you have to get close, you put a tag on the item, you touch the top of your iPhone or the back of your Android phone or your Blind Shell 2 or 3 phone to the tag. When you get about a half inch away, it will read it. I just go ahead and touch it all the way. That way I know I touched it. and you'll feel a vibration in your phone. You'll hear a dink dink sound, and then whatever assistive technology you use to access your phone will either display the information you put on that tag, or it will speak it out loud if you use voiceover or talkback, or it will display it on your refreshable braille display if you use one to cut down on the jabbering or to support your loss of hearing. The metal tag on it has an onboard barrier that makes it a little bit thicker than the round tag. It's like an extra thick piece of cardstock. You won't notice the difference unless you have them both in your hands like I do right now. And that puts a barrier between the metal that the sticker is stuck to, like let's say a McCormick spice can. Okay, those are metal. And it puts a barrier between the little tiny coiled up wire antenna that's embedded inside the sticker and the metal so that it doesn't interfere with the near field communication reader on your phone, pulling the information that is stored there. Now, the thing I like about our stickers particularly is, the square sticker is about the size of a postage stamp. And the thing I like about them is they're very sticky. And the backing that keeps them from sticking to other things until you're ready is a piece of waxed paper. And it's about a quarter of an inch to an eighth to a quarter of an inch bigger than the actual sticker. So there's none of that scraping with your fingernail to get the backing to come loose until you're ready to lose your religion. And it comes off very easily. Let's say you decided, you know what, I didn't really need a square sticker for this thing. You could put that square sticker right back on that piece of waxed paper, pull out a round sticker, create it, and put it on the item, and it would stick back to that wax paper just fine. Our adhesives last through going through the dishwasher. I have refrigerator dishes that I have stickers on the tops of the refrigerator dishes where I store my leftovers so that when I put leftover spaghetti in the dish and snap the lid on, I edit that tag that is on there. The last time it might have been fruit salad that I had in there, so I just changed the wording to say spaghetti, and I also put the date that I put it in there because when I find that refrigerator dish shoved to the back of my refrigerator 2 weeks from now, I'd really like to know that it's 2 weeks old and I should throw it away, not eat it. It saves trips to the urgent care facility. Stickers are useful, but I only use them on things that are not consumable. Like I wouldn't put one on a bag of bread. I wouldn't put it on a bag of potato chips because I'm going to use up that bread or those potato chips. I'm going to throw that packaging away. Now, if you remember to peel it off of there, you might get it to stick again on another surface, and you might not, but that's okay because even if you can't get it to stick again, then you can use a piece of tape to hold it on. And you can do that. And what I don't do is remember to tear it off or peel it off. But when it's a different kind of tag, I usually do. The next two kinds of tags are our buttons. This is what I got most excited about. A two-hole button that's about the size of two dimes stacked together. And it's round. It has two holes in the middle, hence its name. And you can sew this on your clothing. I personally sew my buttons on the side seam. I choose the right side just because that's the way my closet works, but you could choose either side. I would just encourage you to be consistent so you can slide your hand down the seam and find the button without trying hard. And I always put it down near the hem. So if it's a shirt, it's near my waist or my hip. If it's capris, it's down by my knee or my calf. If it's slacks, it's down by my ankle, and the button doesn't bug me. I never even know it's there once I've read it to make sure I'm getting the right shirt or pants or skirt or whatever. It goes through the washer, through the dryer, and even to the dry cleaners Dry cleaning solution will not hurt it, but you have to tell your dry cleaners there are little buttons on my clothing that will tell me what color they are, what they match, where I bought them, and that kind of thing. And it's really important to me that you don't take those buttons off. They are safe to go through the dry cleaning process because a conscientious dry cleaner will see them on there. And I've heard horror stories where people took a whole armload of clothes in and they got their clothes back all nicely hung on hangers, and all their buttons were clipped off and handed back to them in a paper coffee cup. So they weren't erased, but you still had to figure out which button went with which garment and you had to sew it on again. The other kind of button is about the size of a quarter, a bit thicker than a quarter, but not as thick as 2/4. And it has a large oval hole in the middle of it. That's what it's called, the large oval hole button. Now, this button is designed to slip things through the hole to fasten it to something. I have a little ponytail hair tie here. I poked the hair tie through the large oval hole, and then I pulled one end of the hair tie through the other end of the hair tie and pulled it tight. I now have a lark's head knot, and it's holding that button so that I could slip this elastic band around any bottle top, like shampoo or conditioner. Although I don't take my phone in the shower. You may have a waterproof case. I don't. But hair products that are in my cabinet, facial products that are in my cabinet, cleaning products that are under my sink, those kinds of things, the small hair elastics are really handy for. Bigger bottles, you can use a silicone band to do the same thing. Poke one end through the hole, pull the other end of the silicone band through that end, the first end, and again, it pulls it tight and you have a lark's head knot. These silicone bands I recommend over office type rubber bands because office rubber bands dry out, break, and fall apart. These don't. This could go around a package of frozen food in the freezer. It could go around a box under the cabinet. It could go around a large bottle of, let's say, mouthwash in your bathroom cabinet. So you could identify that this is the purple mouthwash rather than the red mouthwash, if that is important to you. You can use pipe cleaners, also called chenille stems, if you want to order any online. You could use an old bread tie, or I think this little round wire, twisty wire I got off of an electrical cord or a USB-C cord that I bought. Here's just a good old bread tie. And so you can attach this button to almost anything. You can also drop it down in a package. I use these in my supplemental drugs that are in my cabinet for when I have a headache or when I want to take something for, digestive problems or whatever. I drop these down in the bottle along with the pills, and then I can just read through the bottle to find out, is this my Advil or is this my, I don't know, Digest-Zin or something like that. The buttons are extremely useful and versatile. They're my absolute favorite products right after stickers and magnets. So the next kind of tag I'm going to show you is our magnet. It is square, just like the square tag, because it obviously goes on metal if it's a magnet. So if it's square, it goes on metal. If it's not square, it doesn't go on metal in the WayAround tag system. It's black on one side, white on the other side, so that you can put it on a can. And if you have remaining vision and that contrast helps you, you can see where it's located, but it's thicker even than the square sticker. It's like that flexible metal tape that you used to put in the squeezy braille labelers. You may have encountered that. And it's very, very tactile. So if you put it on a can, I always put mine on the top. You can even slide it under the pop top. The pop top metal won't interfere with the reading of the tag. And then when I'm looking for a particular canned good on my pull-out shelf in my pantry, I guess I probably have 20 or 30 cans on that shelf, and they're everything from fruit to vegetables to beans to soups to you name it. If it comes in a can and I use it in my cooking, it's there all in one place. I used to have to separate them so I could not open green beans when I wanted peaches. And so now they're all on one shelf, and I take a hold of the can with my left hand. I put my phone against the magnet and it tells me what it is. And then I move my hand if that's not what I want. So I'm touching the can, I'm scanning, and when I hear the thing I want, I pull it out. And I remember to take the magnet off because it's right there on the top. And I put it in a little receptacle that lives in my coffee cup cabinet. Looks like a little watering pail like you might find on a wishing well, except it's coffee cup size. It's cute, decorative. And I throw all of my extra tags, my buttons, if I've used them on food or pantry products, my magnets, and the next thing I'm going to show you are the way clips. And I put those in there so because I've used the product they were attached to. And then when it's time to make my grocery list, I simply read the tags and decide, do I want that this week or next week or for the future, or do I not? And then I can always edit that tag to make it some other thing that I do want to buy. So, for example, at one time I used to buy a lot of chunk pineapple. And then I got some recipes that I really didn't like having to chop up that chunk pineapple, so I started buying crushed pineapple. I simply edited the tag to take the chunk out of the description and put in the crushed. And it's as easy as creating a text or replying to an email to create a way tag. And I'll go over that, how we do that in just a minute with you. The last two kinds of tags are our way clips. These are kind of overgrown plastic paper clips. The top half is either a square sticker or a round sticker. The square sticker goes on something that's metal, and the round sticker goes on anything that's not metal. And the bottom half of the paper clip is an open square. The plastic goes all the way around to finish the about inch and a half by 3/4 of an inch big weight clip itself. The bottom half is an open square with a tang that sticks down from the middle toward the bottom and a tang that sticks up from the bottom toward the middle. And so to slide it onto, let's say, a file folder, you put the tag, the paper clip behind the file folder, and that way the bottom tang is behind, and then you kind of squinch it and bend it a little bit so that the top part of the file folder goes behind the top tang, and it's on there solid. I'm holding a booklet that this tag is on, and I'm kind of waving it around. I could use it as a fan to keep cool. And that tag is staying on there. It does not slip off. And this thing is about 4 pages thick of nice heavy paper. So it goes on hanging files. I also use these as my bread ties. And because they're tactily different, I can also use them for telling the difference between the bread quickly by touch. Okay. So my husband likes white bread. He gets the round tag. I like wheat bread. I get the square tag. So I reach up, I feel the end of the bread, and I grab the square if I'm making me a sandwich and the round if I'm making him a sandwich. Now, you don't have to add information to the tag, the tag to read with your phone when you use them that way, unless you want to keep up with the nutrition facts or the brand of bread. Like, let's say you try a new brand of bread. Like, I just tried Dave's Killer Bread for the first time about a week ago, and oh my goodness, do I love that stuff. And so I remember the name by putting it on my tag, and I can also copy and paste the nutritional information from a website on my phone and paste it into a custom edit field on my tag so that I can remember how many carbs in each slice, how many calories in each slice, what is the sodium count if I'm trying to keep track of that. And that kind of information is at your fingertips instead of having to go look it up one more time. The thing I love about WayAround tags, and I'm reaching for one right now, is I never have to ask more than once, what is this? So sometimes I get that information by scanning it with Be My Eyes or seeing AI with my iPhone. And you might think, well, why do you even need tags if you can do that? Well, you can, but you have to open that app and you have to get to the right thing and either hold your phone real nice and steady until you and turn it a little bit till the words pop into the view of the camera, or you have to take a picture and listen to and finally it tells you what you're holding. But with WayAround, I open the app. You can open it by double tapping on the icon. I'm going to use Siri. Open WayAround.
Way around. Heading level 1.
I'm going to turn it way up so you can hear it. Now on the iPhone, you have to touch the read button, which is in the bottom left corner of the screen always.
Read button.
The reason you have to do that is because Apple does not want you to scan a near field communication tag like in the store or anywhere by accident. They want you to intentionally activate the NFC reader, and then I touch the very top.
15 ounces Libby's chunk pineapple.
So I don't know if you heard the dink dink, but after I said touch, it read within 5 seconds. I dare you to get Be My Eyes to do that, or Seeing AI even. Every once in a while I get lucky and I point it toward the right part of something, and most of the time I have to change the distance and I have to move it around, and it tests my patience every time. So that was a magnet on top of a can of crushed pineapple. I put the brand so that, if I decide, this is not very flavorful pineapple, I think I want to try another brand next time. That way I know I had Libby's and I can put Del Monte on my grocery list. Information for me is power. And WayAround gives me the power to know more about the products I use than I used to be able to do. I'm going to read another tag for you.
Read button.
This is a
Alert. Ready to
Way clip that I have attached to a can that lives under my kitchen sink. It's a metal can, so I used a square top Way clip, and I'm going to touch my top of my phone to it. Dink dink.
Oven cleaner. Heading.
Oven cleaner. Okay, I could have put the brand if I wanted to know. I would either ask Seeing AI, Be My Eyes, or my husband what brand it is, but I don't really care. Oven cleaner, in my estimation, is oven cleaner. But I added more information to this tag than just that first description field. That is on every tag that comes up when you start to create a tag. And it's one edit field that you can put multiple lines in, but I don't like having a lot of information there. I don't want to listen and listen and listen like I used to have to with my pen friend to get to what I wanted to know. So I swipe right or forward on my phone.
Spray on oven surface and close oven door. Let sit for 10 minutes to 2 hours. Wipe residue away with a damp cloth. List start. 1 of 1.
So I only had one extra piece of information. I could have split those pieces of directions into three different things, but I think it's enough that I know I want to spray it on, I want to close the door, and I can wait up to 2 hours. And then it kind of makes sense to me to use a damp cloth, but it's nice to be reminded. And that is extra information that I added in a custom edit field. And you can do the same thing with our drop-down templates that is in our Create that I'm going to show you after I show you one more sticker. So this is the exception to my rule. I don't use stickers on consumables, but on this bottle of spice, I do use stickers because spice bottles are pretty universal. One cap is going to fit even on a new bottle and a different brand. It's kind of universal. And so I've put one on this.
Read button. Alert. Ready to scan. Heading. Ready to scan. Heading. Pampered Chef Cinnamon Plus. Heading.
Pampered Chef Cinnamon Plus. You can only get it the holidays, and doggone it, I missed this past holiday season. So I'm almost out of this jar and I have one more. And when I use this one up, I'll take the cap off of this one, throw the new cap on the new bottle away, and put this cap on it. And I can add to, which on this one I did, add to the information.
Dietary information. Gluten-free. List start.
Dietary information is one of the template items that is in a drop-down template that if you can use drop-downs on a website, you can use them on our app. It's super simple. And so the drop-down template has lots of different things. One of them is grocery item, and you open that up and it has lots of different things that you might want to put on a tag, but you don't have to type it because we've put it in the drop-down menu, so it inserts it into the tag automatically. So dietary restrictions, this is gluten-free. All Pampered Chef seasonings are gluten-free. I know that, but what if I'm making, pumpkin bread for Uncle Bob and I want to make sure that I really make it gluten-free so he can enjoy some tasty treats at Christmas time? Then I want to remind myself that it is. And I didn't have to type any of that. It put it on my tag automatically just by me swiping through the drop-down list and double tapping on the thing I wanted to add. And then one of the things in the template is a custom text field. I've talked about that already. And I added one of those kinds of text boxes to this tag because the next thing I wanted to add was how much of this do I use in my pumpkin bread recipe?
Recipes. Pumpkin bread 2 tablespoons. 2 of 2. List end.
Pumpkin bread, 2 tablespoons. Now, I didn't put the whole recipe because this is a recipe I use almost every week. It's a box of cake mix, it's a can of pumpkin, and it's 2 eggs. And then whatever else you want to add to it. And in my pumpkin bread, I wanted more spice because even though I use a spice cake, it just wasn't spicy enough. And when I started making that pumpkin bread, I started with 1 teaspoon. That wasn't enough. I went to 2, then I went to 3, then I went to 1 tablespoon, and then I got brave and jumped all the way up to 2 tablespoons. And each time I changed my tag so I would remember, because I don't make pumpkin bread year round, but I do make bread with that recipe with a box of cake mix and a can of pumpkin and 2 eggs, and then whatever goodies I want to add, like nuts or chocolate chips or any of those kinds of things. So that's our basic demo of how to read and what WayAround can do. Now I want to create a tag for you, and I want to see what time it's getting to be. Okay, so I have about 15 more minutes, and here's a 2-hole button. Let's say I just purchased a new shirt at the store. And, I used to be able to see colors. I used to be able to memorize things, and golly, some of that has gone away. I still remember what colors look like, and I know what colors go together, but I don't know what color a thing is if I have 2 or 3 of the same thing. So let's say I bought a red polo shirt.
Create button.
I go back to my WayAround app screen. In the bottom right corner is always the create button. And you can use create on a tag that you want to change, but you don't have to because in the middle, once you've read a tag, there's an edit button. So in the edit button, you can just change a few things, or if you want to just completely erase the old tag and create a new one, then you use the create button.
Way tag, heading level 1.
So it comes up and it tells me I'm on the create screen, create way tag, heading level 1.
Way cloud connect, enter the text you want written to the way tag.
2 swipes.
Text field.
2 swipes takes me to an edit field. I double tap on that edit field
Insertion point at end.
so that it is editing. I know it's editing because it said insertion point at end. Now I can use dictation. I can use the on-screen keyboard. I can use a Bluetooth QWERTY keyboard, or I can use my Braille display keyboard if I have one connected to my phone. But I'm going to use dictation just to make it faster. Red polo shirt.
Oh, inserted red polo shirt.
Now, I kind of separated my words because dictation, I think dictation's getting dumber and dumber every day. If you talk too fast or too kind of sling words together, you can get the strangest words that you didn't intend. And it's just faster to me to dictate clearly and slowly when I'm doing tags because it's not a whole sentence. And then I can swipe
Template.
forward
Select.
to the
Button.
template button and I open it.
Select. Button.
And this is where all the different drop-down templates live.
Appointment.
There's an appointment. So you can put a sticker on your, I don't know, your, on a spiral notebook, and you can add appointments to those stickers.
Button.
Artwork, you could use this template to name and title artwork that's around your house, or photographs or diplomas and that kind of thing. Because I don't know about you, once it's in a frame and on the wall, I don't remember what it is.
Business card.
Here's a business card template, so you can remember the information to ask someone, or if you got a business card, you can either get somebody to read it or use one of the OCR apps to read it and enter it into a tag and then put that sticker on the business card so you never have to scan it again.
Cleaning supply.
Here's a cleaning supply. That's where I got that drop down for well, I'm sorry. I think I took that drop down off. I used to have a drop down on the oven cleaner to make sure. Oh no, it was on my Clorox cleanup. That's what it was. There's a drop down that says only use in a well ventilated area. And for a lot of cleaning supplies, that's really important.
Clothing care.
Here's clothing care. That's the one I want for my new red polo shirt.
Clothing care. Pop-up button.
So I double tapped on it. It popped up.
Clothing care. Heading level. Sorting. Select.
Here's a sorting drop down. So if I'm not a very good laundry doer, like I'm 16 years old and I'm just learning to sort and I don't know colors because I never saw colors, I can say sort dark, sort light, sort delicate, sort dry cleaning, so that you remember those things. And you know, I told my kids, don't ever wash your red polo shirt with your white underwear. You'll be unhappy. My son didn't remember and didn't believe, and he was unhappy.
Washing. Select.
Then there's washing instructions. So that's wash cold, wash warm, wash hot, wash delicate. Those kinds of things are in that drop down.
Drying. Select.
Here's drying, same thing. Dry delicate, dry medium, dry hot.
Other.
Hang
Select.
dry. So if I don't want my polo shirt to shrink, I can hang it dry.
Other. Select.
And then there's an other that has lots of other choices for a clothing item that you can either add or not add.
Purchase date.
Purchase date. When I first saw that, I thought, I don't know when all that stuff in my closet was purchased. Well, neither do you either. But when you buy something new, you put the purchase date on it, and then sometime in the future, you're wearing it, and you can swipe down and say, how long have I had this red polo shirt? Golly, I've had it for 4 years. Maybe I should have somebody with good eyeballs look at it to say, yeah, that's looking a little faded. Time to replace it. Or it looks great. Keep buying, keep wearing it.
Clean date.
Clean date would be something you would put on a button that would maybe go like in a wool overcoat. Did I remember to clean it at the end of the winter season last year? Because it's October and I'm wanting to wear it again, but I don't remember if I cleaned it or not. And if you go in and edit and put the cleaning date, then you'll know you've got a clean cloak to start with, or you know you need to rush it to the cleaners the next time you get a chance.
Other date.
And then other dates, like sometimes on a piece of clothing, you might want to put that you wore this to the Christmas party last year or 2025. Some of us ladies care about that kind of stuff.
Add a custom block.
And then there's always add a custom block on every one of these template drop downs. And so that's an easy way to get to a custom block.
Right to wait at.
And then there used to be a dismiss, and there's not anymore. So that's interesting. It goes right to the way tag. Okay, so when you're on the right to the way tag, that's WRITE. I simply double tap on that.
Alert. Ready to scan.
And now I touch my button to the top.
Heading. Success. Way tag written.
I hear the dink dink. I feel the vibration. I hear my voiceover say success, way tag written. I'm a doubting Thomas. I go to my read button.
Ready to scan.
And I read the tag.
Ready to scan. Heading. Red polo shirt.
Red
Heading.
polo shirt. One other piece of information you need is you don't have to read the tag by touching the actual tag. It can be on the inside of the shirt and you feel where the tag is and the cloth is between you and between your button and your iPhone. It'll read it right through the cloth. And the other thing to know about WayAround is all of your tags, when you create a tag, you have to be logged in with an email and a password. And then all of your tags that you create are saved to our cloud storage, not your iCloud, our cloud storage. So we're not taking up your room. But if you have to replace your phone or your phone gets damaged or you lose your phone, you don't lose all your tags. When you get your phone fixed or replaced, you simply open the WayAround app, and luckily, maybe they transferred from your iCloud account so you didn't have to reinstall all your apps. But if you do, so be it. You log back into your account and it downloads all of those tags, hundreds and hundreds and thousands of tags that you have created to your phone so you don't lose anything. I was a PinFriend user for many, many years, loved my PinFriend until I broke it. I dropped it. All the guts went everywhere. The plastic broke apart. Everything went everywhere. It was a mess. And guess what? All my tags were now blank because if I bought a new pen friend, it wouldn't read those tags. They would be blank because all that information was stored on the actual pen friend that you record the tags on. All right, I'm going to stop here, see if anybody has questions and see if anybody has a stump the chump dilemma for me. And see if anybody's still awake out there.
So I'll ask you the first question, Neva. This is Ryan.
Sure.
So if somebody maybe has some physical access issues, dexterity issues, has trouble swiping, tapping, double tapping, is there an option for them to access the way tags?
There is if they're a Braille display user or a QWERTY keyboard user, but otherwise, no. It uses the native gestures and the native accessibility settings. I've never tested it with assistive touch, but if you know of somebody who would like to do that with me, I would love to. I would love to explore that with somebody.
There was a product called Waylink Scanner. Is that still available?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And the reason Waylink is around is so that people who had older iPhones, because when we first came out, iPhone 7 was the newest phone. That was the first iPhone to have an NFC reader. Lots of people still had fours, fives, and sixes. So we have the Waylink still on the website for purchase, just in case any of those old iPhones are still living, but also so that people can use WayAround with their iPad
Right.
because iPads do not have NFC readers built in. So you still need your phone or your iPad near you to use the Waylink. You go into settings and tell it use Waylink, say yes or no. And when you say yes, then the only way you can scan a tag is with the Waylink. And it's simply a standalone NFC reader.
Right. And I'm not sure, Marcy, are you there? Do we
Yeah,
have any hands up?
yeah, Nancy.
Hi, Nancy. Got a question, Nancy?
Did we lose you, Nancy?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Now
Now
we
we
can.
can.
Sorry about
There you
that.
go.
Quick question. You already answered my question. I have an old phone too.
2:41 p.m.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry, I touched the screen of my iPhone and it just has to talk.
How does it identify shoes?
Okay, so I have some clips that have a solid enough surface that I can put a sticker on, or I could attach a button to, and I put my shoes together like they're sitting on a shelf together, and the part where you put your foot in is right next to each other. I clip the two shoes together and I put a tag on the clip.
Okay.
And then when I'm going to wear the shoes, I set the clip on my dresser away from all my other shoes. Okay. And then when I take my shoes off, I get the clip, put it back on, and put it back on the shelf.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I always put nail polish on because I have flip-flops and I have brown shoes, black shoes to match. But I'm always, oh my God, they're all the same. But like I said, I got to figure out an easy way to do this.
Yeah, find some nice, the clips that skirt hangers have on them?
Yeah,
Those kind of metal clips.
yeah.
You can find clips like that, but they're not attached to a hanger.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's the size clip you would need.
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah. Just
thank you.
remember, if they're metal, you need to use an on metal product.
Now, for this app, thank you. For this app, does it cost money to download, or is it on our
No,
iPhone?
the app is free. The tags cost between um, 29.99 for 25 round stickers, all the way up to 34.99 for 25 on metal way clips. And they vary in between 29.99 and 34.99 for a total of 25. Now we have some kits, and I don't know what you resell them for, Ryan, so maybe you should answer the cost question. But we also have kits that are like it's a kitchen kit or it's a laundry kit, and it has a lot of those kinds of tags, depending on where you want to start tagging your house. I personally didn't go with a kit when I jumped into the fray. I bought 50 round stickers and I bought 50 two-hole buttons. And then I quickly realized that I need large oval hole buttons and I needed square stickers. And now I've even branched out into the way clips for some of the things I tag in my house.
Yeah, because I used a pen friend and I used it for my freezer, but once everything gets wet, it doesn't work.
Nope, nope.
No.
Ours are water resistant
Oh,
except
good.
for the buttons, and the buttons are waterproof. So you can even like hot glue them to a garden stake and they'll go through rain and snow and sleet and all of that, and you'll still be able to know this is my green bean row or this is my I don't know, my verbena pot. I slide the clips down into the edge of pots so that the paperclip part goes down into the dirt and the tag part sticks up above the dirt. And when you water, it doesn't hurt it for it to get wet. You just don't want it down in there where it's soaking up water.
So we can purchase this at Ryan's store or Steve's
Yes,
store? Okay.
yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I love this.
Okay, Ron.
Yep. Well, first of all, I'm a pretty long time user. I think I've been using them since Steve has been selling them. So, and I'm very happy with them. I wish there was a way to bring down the costs a little bit because in Canada the buttons come to about $2 a piece.
Okay.
And when you have, 50 or 60 things to mark, it
Yeah,
becomes a little
it
bit
adds up.
pricey. It
Yeah,
adds up,
yeah,
and
it does.
but I'm still very happy with them. All my clothes, I had a volunteer mark all my clothes with them, and I'm so happy with that because, as you said, the pen friend is a fantastic device, but I found that after a number of times in the washing machine, even the clothing tags started coming off
Yep,
and I had them in the back of my shirts and they scratching my neck. And so now I
yep.
use exactly the same system you do, bottom right hand
Good.
side.
Great
That's
minds think
because
alike.
that's because the way I hang my stuff in my
Hmm.
closet, my shirts, I always have the opening to the right. So I want the tags to be on the outside of my closet. I don't want to
Yep.
have to reach to the back. Anyway, I'm very happy with them. I think they're fantastic devices. There's only one thing I wish. Uh, I don't always have my phone either on my belt or in my pocket, but I always have my Apple Watch on my arm.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And I wish you had a watch.
Hold that
that-
thought. Hold that thought. We're working on it.
Yeah, but you've been telling me that for about 3 years now.
Well, great things take time. The thing is you'll still need to have You'll still need to have a reader because the watch is not going to have an NFC reader built into it. So you would have to have a WayLink at that point. Which, for your closet, you just hang the WayLink on a hook and it's always right there if your watch is always on you.
Hmm, okay.
Okay, other questions? And thank you for that testimonial. I'm glad you're happy with them.
I'm okay.
All right.
Thanks,
Okay.
Ron.
There's no one who has their hand up right at this moment.
Okay. Well, you can reach out to me at the email that Ryan has or the phone number that Ryan has. And our website is www.wayaround, WAYAROUND.com. And in the settings of our app, down at the bottom, you can go straight to the shop, to shop for tags, or a couple of swipes back from the very bottom, and you'll get to our YouTube channel. And there are about 33 YouTube videos right there in a nice little list, so you don't have to fight with YouTube about it. And you can learn more and more and more about WayAround and how other people use it. And I'll just finish up with that interesting phone call we got one day. A gentleman was taking over his family's cattle ranch because his father was retiring. And he is blind. And he called up my boss and said, "How can I identify my cows with WayAround?" Well, cows have an ear tag that is like a single earring, and it has a serial number or a number on it so that the rancher can identify the cows and know when they've had veterinary services, when they had inoculations, when they were born, who their dam and sire were, all of those things. And guess what? An on metal sticker went right on the back of those ear tags. And now he can handle his cattle and know which one they are and access all the information on them on each of their tags.
Interesting.
Is
I
that
just
the
I just thought of something, something I didn't quite get and I've never done, is when you insert something yourself
Mhm.
and you go to the menu, can you add what is in the menu to what you have written?
You mean those drop down templates?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Those are closed little pieces of information. You can put a custom field right under it if you need to add more information to what you want to know about that, though.
Oh, you'd have to put a custom field under it. Okay.
Uh, uh-huh.
Yeah. I'm lazy. I usually erase the whole thing and rewrite it.
Okay. To each his own.
Yeah.
I'm with you. If it's too much deleting and rewriting, I'll do the same thing. But if like changing from chunk to crushed, I just went into that edit field and deleted out chunk and typed in crushed, and I was happy camper.
Yeah. But
Well, thank you, everybody. It's
if you delete it completely, and you do it verbally, it takes only 1 second to redo the whole thing. So
it's
that's
true.
why I get lazy.
Yeah, I,
But
I,
if it
I hear
works,
you.
it works, right? Whatever works.
That's right. Exactly. I'm glad it works well for you.
Absolutely. Neva, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate the thorough look at way around tags, and hopefully people looking for more information know where to go to find it. So thank
Yep.
you again for your time. Really appreciate
Reach
it.
out anytime. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you for checking out our content. To learn more about the Alliance for Equality of Blind Canadians, please visit www.blindcanadians.ca. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe.